Hey everybody, it's Diana. So today I'm doing this video to show you guys how I do the interior of my box pop-up cards using the recently released Lawn Fawn Scalloped Box Pop Up die. I'm just getting started by die cutting out Lawn Fawn stitched hillside borders as well as their stitched tree border. Then I'm taking this We Are Memory Keepers next level embossing folder and I'm running my treetops through it. Using the Cut-A-Bug, I find the best embossing stack is A plate, B plate, next level embossing folder, then just a regular embossing folder. Otherwise the stack is too thick to go through. Now I'm going to start assembling my scene by gluing my tree panel to my hillside panel and my treetops to my trees with my Zig 2-way glue pen. I should also mention I won't be showing any of my stamping or coloring in this video in the interest of not making this video like half an hour long. I'm using Lawn Fawn's Dad and Me stamp set for this card and I just did some simple Copic coloring. I will have all my Copic colors I use as well as the ink colors I use listed in my blog linked below if you're interested in that. Also, I won't be showing you how to assemble the card base in this video, so if you're new to box cards, please refer to the link that's going to pop up somewhere in the corner of the screen, or check out the description box below for the YouTube video tutorial on that. I did use Lawn Fawn Scalloped Box Pop Up die for this card, and I did put 2 slots in my box to start. Anyways, so I place my hillside panel up to my box card and mark off with a pencil where the opening is. I'm using these marks as guidelines and cutting vertically on those lines and then horizontally so I can fit this panel into the box card by slotting it in and gluing it down to my second slot. I had stamped and die cut out a lake and stream with Lawn Fawn's fish tank ink, and now I'm placing the lake on the first slat and the stream on the hillside panel, but then I realized I didn't like how the stream looked, so I trimmed a bit off the top and glued it back in place. I decided I wanted 3 more slats in my card to build dimension to my scene, so I placed 1 slat in front of my first slat, 1 slat between my 2 original slats, and 1 slat behind my original second slat. I had to trim down the tabs of the slats in half to make them fit in my box, and I adhered them in my card with Ranger Multimedia Matte. I'm die cutting MFT's Sunny Skies Die-Namics. Lawn Fawn has a similar die that also comes with cute stitched clouds. I tried to get it a couple times. It's been sold out every single time I try. One day I'll get it. Anyway, so I adhere my sun to my 5th slat in the center so it looks like it's peeking out behind the trees. Now I'm gluing my reeds together with my Zig 2-way glue pen. Then I'll set them aside and start gluing my grasses into my card. I stamped all the grasses with Lawn Fawn celery stick, freshly cut grass, jalapeno, and noble fir ink, and the tops of the reeds were stamped out with walnut ink. I'm gluing grass in the very front of the card but like not on the slat, and then I'm gluing grass on the 3rd slat. I'm also trying to make sure that 2 of the same shade of ink aren't beside each other. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you'd have seen that for day 5 of the 30-day coloring challenge, I already did a similar box card using the stamp set. Since I used the moose for that card, I really wanted to use the cute bears for this card. I adhered the baby bear on the front grass and the mama bear on the lake. Then I decided I wanted fish in my card, so I fussy cut out one of the fish and went over the edge with a black outliner. Then I glued the fish onto the mama bear as if it had it in its mouth. Then I took one fish and glued it to the front grass, and then another fish and adhered it to a small piece of acetate and glued it to my second slat to make it look like it was jumping out of the lake. had stamped out a bunch of the rocks with Lawn Fawn's Manatee ink, and then I'm gluing some around the edges of the lake. Then I'm adhering my reeds into my box card. I grabbed the largest stitch rectangle die that comes with the Scalloped Stitch Box Pop Up die, and I'm die cutting out a piece of white cardstock. I'm going to be doing some ink blending for my background, so I'm using Distress Ink's Mustard Seed, Carved Pumpkin, and Abandoned Coral. When I'm done my ink blending, I'm going to adhere this to the back of my box card. So I decided I wanted some clouds, so I dug through my stash and I decided to use Lawn Fawn's Into the Woods dies. I die cut out 3 of the clouds and I adhered 1 to the back panel, and 2 I put on some acetate strips and I adhered them to the 5th slot. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for the flaps and for the exterior, and I just decided to do some white heat embossing on black cardstock. I'm using It's Your Birthday from Mama Elephant's Space Bear stamp set and You're Officially Awesome from the Die-Namics stamp set. I also wanted to jazz up the cardstock a bit, so I'm using a simple stitch die from MFT's Basic Stitch lines, and I'm just running it through my cuttle block on both top and bottom to make the panel more decorative. I positioned the stamps in my Misty tool, and I'm using my anti-static powder tool on my black cardstock to ensure I don't get any embossing powder sticking where I don't want it to stick. I'm using Wow Opaque Bright White embossing powder, and I'm just melting it with my heat tool and then adhering it to the front flap. I decided to do the same black cardstock with the simple stitching on the other flaps. I like to try and keep the flaps simple because I make the inside so elaborate. I cut down a piece of white cardstock to 2 7/8 by 3 3/4, and then I glue it to the back of the card for the area that people can write on. Then I cut down more of those stitch hillsides and trees to decorate the exterior of the card, and then more fish to decorate the writing area. To finish up my card, I just take my Spectrum Noir clear overlay sparkle pen and I brush all the fish on my card. So that finished up my card. I don't really have a plan when I start these, but I kind of just have a general idea and I kind of just go with it. I made this card as my entry for Lawn Fawn's new challenge blog, so check that out and my supplies in the description box below. If you guys like this card and you want to see more like it, please thumbs up and subscribe to let me know you want to see more. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon.